You're not leaving us. You stay where you are. But they need a 2-0, as Tetra said, and that is about it. Even a draw wouldn't help them too much.
That is a scary point. The One have 2 games to play tomorrow. They are 1 game behind. BTG and SPT, they only have 1 game tomorrow. BTG play against Team Nut, SPT play against CE. Which means that if SPT don't win this, like you said, they cannot physically catch Beyond the Game. If Beyond the Game are able to pull out anything less than a 2-0, then they are physically catchable by the One.
And only the One. They shall be the one team who can do that. Key players here, Melody C and Dancing. 2 absolute legends in China up to this point. Melody C, earlier before, I think on the Cassia, had a perfect game with how many kills did they have again? Like more than 10 at least.
A
And,
lot.
And 0 deaths. Like this guy's on a tear today, but so is Dancing. Next to LAK, actually, I would say, who's also been showing us some great Phoenix play and some deadly showings earlier. So this is truly the match of the Titans, if you will. The 2 strongest teams in the league, potentially. The reigning Chinese champions, SPT, facing the potentially new Chinese champions, BTG.
Neither of these teams were able to pull off a perfect series today, with SPT going 1-1 versus RPG, and BTG going 1-1 versus the One. That's a lot of ones. And the last time these 2 teams were able to scuffle in the arena of battle, it did turn out to be a 2-0 in favor of Beyond the Game. Can SPT even up the score, or are BTG going to shut them out?
And we're going to Volskaya Foundry, ladies and gentlemen. You see it on the bottom side of your screens. You can hear the music as well, I'm pretty sure of. And Genji makes it through. SPT is not even hesitating a millisecond there. They lock in the Cyborg Ninja, but Beyond the Game has to have a plan there. They have to have something to keep him shut down. And my suspicions here, Tetra, is an Anubarak, but they're not going to show it immediately. I think they're going to pick it in the second half. Then you put the Cocoon on Genji when he's either Dragon Blading or just going deep in general, and you either pop him after the Cocoon or you focus a different target in the meantime.
I can see the idea, but Misaka, I was about to say, has been leaning on this Anubarak a little bit. After the start of the season where he was bringing out the Diablo and it was not working for him, he's really started to adjust and play more of the Anubarak, and it has been working very, very well when he's got his hands on it. So stealing that away from BTG is a clutch move.
I'm loving it. At this point, you don't even care about, the Liming being open. They could even ban it right now if they want to be super sneaky. SPT, that is, because BTG did play Liming earlier before, and it is still one of the strongest counters to that Cocoon. So if they want to get double value from that Anubarak pick, they're definitely going to do that. Are there any other high priority targets that they could shut down? The Blaze, Diablo I would have mentioned there as well. Either way, though, should still be fine.
With Blaze taken away, what are we going to see instead? The solo laner is required because the fact is SPT can use the Thrall for theirs. So with your Rel band out, we're looking at Leorics, Malthaels, heroes like that. I'm going to lean towards the Leoric personally. I think that could be quite effective on the objective, and there he is with Diablo, another hero who was able to slip through surprisingly to this point.
Yeah, pretty crazy, and they don't even go for... oh, never mind, Whiteman was banned for a minute.
Oh, boy!
What?
Noise of surprise. Surprised voodoo noises in asterisks. Yeah, Malfurion and Nazeebo. No warning, just sup, they're here now. Against a Diablo, which is pretty good at, hard engaging. So, that's weird.
I'm not so sure about that, Tetra. The Liming makes it through. They could have picked it themselves for double resets with the Genji. Very dangerous, but they rely on Nazeebo yet again. Now, do I want to see a spider build? No. Do I want to see Toads? Yeah, that's what I want to see, because honestly, I mean, it was a different map, true, it was a different team. I'm not saying that Team Nut is on the same level as SPT. I would be a fool to do that. However, spider build against a team that is very mobile as well. Liming can dodge it. She could even go for force armor and protect herself this way. Diablo won't even bother with the tickling spiders. He doesn't care. He could even go for the spell shield at level 1. So I want to go for the Toads. They have better zoning potential. They have better wave clear and stronger sieging as well.
I would like to believe you're right, but if there's one thing we've learned about China is that they will adjust heroes, but never adjust builds. This is why we have seen nothing but March of the Black Kings for a long time now. Because one person played it and won with it, and they were like, oh, good idea, and then didn't. And then it wasn't at all, in a lot of cases.
Yeah, all right. So Nazeebo, he hasn't really looked too good the last 2 times he was deployed. We just witnessed the Sky Temple fiasco of Team Nut, unfortunately. But I think Volskaya is a solid map. All you need to do, well, that's easier said than done, is to not fall behind drastically. You know, giving up their first protector is fine if you can keep the damages to a minimum here. If you can keep soaking, you can keep, you know, the enemy protector at bay sometimes. And that, too, is another reason why the Toads are so good. True, the Spiders are nice and all, but against a protector with that consistent pushing, you drop the Toads after level 7. Huge Toads at level 7. But, I mean, I'm talking about Toads, but it's Spiders anyway. So, screw it, China.
Oh, well. Oh, well, as we move into game number 1, it is a lucky Melody C, Misaka, Soap, and ZZH. They are the super perfect team.
And facing them is our current pole position team beyond the game with 619, LLK, Druid, Dancing, and Lokta. Not on Irel, not on his most comfortable hero, but on Leoric. And let's see what they can do. Now, once again, Tetra, you look at that lineup of SPT. Would you say Entomb is a valid option here?
Maybe. Depends. I would say if the role picked Sundering, no. If he picked Earthquake, yes. And looking at the lineup, I think he's going to pick Sundering. I think there's just too much potential disengage for
I would
BTG.
still say yes, though, because Diablo will benefit of that Entomb, right? He can always slam people into those Entomb walls and actually get the value this way. Hold that thought. Hold up, hold up. That is a kill already onto a Nubrek. The Beetle continues his... you know, train of misery. But sorry, you can go ahead and respond. I
mean, you are right. The Diablo tackles into the Entomb would be good. Nazeebo's going to want to go to late game, so I guess level 20 Entomb is almost an inevitability. So, yes, I retract my statement. You are correct. I believe Entomb would be the better option here.
All right, let's see what we're going to see from those Chinese players as the game goes on. That first blood, of course, is nice to have, but it's not really going to have any, you know, tremendous impact onto the game. The experience gain just isn't really great enough to be able to do that cheeky dodge there. Nazeebo actually spending his time solo laning against Leoric. I guess it makes sense.
He's ranged. He has wave clear. Last Thrall to also solo lane and gain more stacks up top lane. I would argue it's potentially more ideal because it's going to take him too long to dual lane here. Like, it's not a great map for rotating in that way, so it makes sense to leave him on bot lane for the moment so he can keep control of it, prevent it being pushed up. And then, of course, he can even just send a zombie wall up the conveyor belt to the objective if he wanted to. Could take Dead Rush or something.
Yeah, those were fun days when the zombie wall build was actually seeing more play with Nazeebo.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool. The running zombies, they used to be so good at intercepting certain skill shots, you know, frost bolts, storm bolts, and whatnot. But yeah, long are those time gone. And
I mean, I assume you saw the funny, the random and funny moments video where a Gazlo just sat in bot lane and was just like, turrets incoming, and just delivered turrets up the conveyor belt. Such a good idea.
Yeah.
I love it. Such a good idea with Clockwork Steam Fists.
All right, Nazeebo is switching it up already, and I'm loving this by SPT. I can't stress enough how much of a fan I am of this talent build adjustment here with a big Voodoo at level 4, increasing the health and mana gain per Voodoo ritual stack, which basically caters towards a stronger late game. The more stacks Nazeebo is going to, you know, get in his belly, the stronger he will be in terms of tankiness and mana household. Also, yeah, once again, mana household, you don't have to go back as much if you have a higher mana count in general. So, good stuff. Kendrick approved.
And also Tetra approved. But less so, because I'm not the Nazeebo expert. We see the heal-reducing roots coming in from Malfurion, so he wants to do his best impression of Deckard Cain, while Deckard Cain does his best impression of Deckard Cain.
Alright, he's got many stories to tell. The lockdown into the zombie wall here, but Nubarek is just getting bullied away, and Diablo says, "Get out of here, you puny beetle."
And is a noob just straight up countered by Diablo? Because that's what it's looking like more and more.
Second time, right?
Every game they've matched each other, more than second, I think it's third now, by Nazeebo. Yep. Diablo's good. There's a reason he's always banned.
And you know what? We talked about Entomb, you know, having great synergy with Diablo's Center Charge. Guess what? Sometimes an unintentional zombie wall can have the same effect because people can still, you know, people of your own team can still get slammed into those.
Very true indeed. There's a little bit of a backfire that counters terrain technically for Diablo charges especially. So you've got to be careful around those. Now then, 76%, 76 stacks, sorry, not percent, on the Widowmakers already. So getting good stacks there. But we have not seen the Voodoo Ritual stacks because they did not show up there.
Yeah. Then, of course, the Spirit of a Rocker at level 7 is still solid, you know, still going to give you that extra damage. Diablo used the Healing Pulse, does not want to waste it. The potions are good, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Healing Pulse is too good. The flames are coming back, and 619 lives.
Widowmaker's stacked, though, dancing. Almost drops,
so close.
And that him surviving prevents Melody C getting the reset. He's also able to dodge the swing, but that is going to be BTG just backing up. We're even going to see 619 go for the fountain. He's already go for the base, sorry, as he's already used it.
Now, honestly, both teams walk away with a victory here. Victory for SPT, well, they forced out the Healing Pulse, and they maintain control over that objective for now. Victory for BTG, they didn't lose a single hero, and they actually got caught by surprise here, so them not losing anyone and recuperating the way they did is actually still an achievement in itself.
Hisaga having to use one of his main engage tools as an escape here. He is able to dodge away, but you can see percentage about to start ticking up. 99 to 89 as they move back on, focusing on Leora, going to try and blow him up, but Wraithwalk is too good, and Misaka is again being focused. Quick blow up, but Genji into the backline does huge damage to LLK. He will drop. Get the potion, you fool! He gets it, as he is going to stay alive. Soap pulling back, and with LLK living, that is going to be a BTG protector.
Or is it, though? The spiders are still harassing. Nazeebo stays on the platform. Lucky is still full HP. Risky. He's going to absorb some of those shots.
619 got the fountain. Moves in, gets the tackle onto Lucky, who gets deleted. But LLK gets almost deleted, apparently. He took a lot of damage. Dancing's chasing down Melody C, forcing him off the point, and that is gonna be BTG. They can only hold for... Actually, they're dropping low. I stand corrected again! Melody C comes back in for a third time, looking for a counterplay. ZZH is completely out of mana, and finally Soap falls.
Oh, another slam against the wall here. The cleanse coming in from Malfurion. I believe that was the Nature's Cure at level 7, but it was not enough here. ZZH, as you said, dropping low on mana, couldn't really keep up the healing anymore. And although Genji, Melody C there, had a spectacular turnaround, it was not enough to keep BTG off the point. And now, we mentioned this before, if you lose that first Protector with Nazeebo, it can be a problem. When is it going to be a problem, Tetcher? When there's no heroes defending. When the Protector just does what it pleases without getting contested.
Entomb! Hooray!
Nice.
Finally! As we do see that coming in for Loktar. In the meantime, the Protector is absolutely battering top lane. Sorry, my Essex showed there. It is destroying top lane, and they look to move on. At the minimum, grab the fountain for it as well.
All right, the lead, it extends, it expands for BTG. Raynor hasn't even chosen his level 10 yet. They just get Genji like it was a piece of cake there. SPT is crumbling and falling apart. Dancing couldn't even choose his heroic ability.
Yeah, dropping the overpower for it to just murder him.
Yep. There we go. The Banshees here, now additional damage, also tanking those 4 shots if needed. And things are not looking too good for SPT. It's still salvageable, still manageable, but they're going to have to work double time for it.
Somehow, Malfurion was not spotted by Loktar there, as Soap steals away the fortification camp. You cheeky boy. But this gives a free healing pulse over to BTG.
All right, something else we can highlight real quick here is the adjustment of Decker Kane in this build. Doesn't go for the Emerald Q, which is such a powerful talent, such an impactful one, but says, you know what? Instead of reducing the healing of Malfurion, we're going to lower the damage of heroes like Nazeebo, like Genji in the late game.
I kind of want a noob to pick Locust Swarm. He's literally... Yes!
Yeah!
He's been getting absolutely battered every single fight, and every single game we have seen in the Nubrak versus Diablo, it's the same story. A Nubrak gets battered, the Nubrak team loses. But in this case, what is there to Cocoon? Li Ming, because everyone else burns through Cocoon. What happens to Cocoon Li Ming?
Li Ming
hits
burns
W
Cocoon,
and burns
right?
it. Lightning breath to burn it as well. And if not, once again, Li Ming disintegrates everything. So what do? You stay alive. So at least you can help your team with some crowd control. And finally, we see that adjustment.
I'm still not 100% sure. I'm super happy, by the way, that you were able to come up with that point, because I definitely agree. I think a Cocoon that gets shredded every single time by Li Ming gets very little value. A Noob has been popped like a champagne bottle every single time he tried to go in there. So,
yeah.
It's
like you don't bring a boat made out of meat into shark-infested waters. It's going to get eaten. What you do is you bring one made out of steel, or at least put some cling film on that meat. This analogy sounded better in my head.
It's all good. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure the people loved it. I certainly did. And
Genji is holding on to his level 10, but it's still a talent lead for BTG. They are way further ahead than I thought they were XP-wise.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Dragon Blade, to be honest. I think there's too much lockdown, there's too much shutdown for that. He needs an escape, in my opinion. Here comes the Entombed, missing, unfortunately. Damage onto a Noob, but the Locust Swarm is keeping him alive.
With Tranquility, it's not enough. They focus him down anyway. 619 is low. The Ravenous Spirit trying to finish anyone, but they all survive. And that's got to feel bad. They finally get the Yorick at least. A little bit of lightning for good measure.
Yeah.
But that is a 2-for-1. The focus is real. They're looking to make another one lucky, getting dropped here by Li Ming. And that's yet another reset.
Yeah, and Soap needs to be so careful. The body blocks by LLK, preventing Thrall from escaping. Double kill for a Li Ming player. And that is just getting really, really ugly here for BTG. They're behind in level, they're behind in structural progress, and they have a Nazeebo. So I'm not so sure if they're going to make it into that much desired late game. Now, also something I wanted to mention. I'm not a big fan of the Ravenous Spirit here for two reasons. First of all, you should have maybe... Okay, never mind. I scratched that. Hold that thought. I'm not a big fan of it against Li Ming, because she will have an easy time actually just landing those combos onto you. Diablo can interrupt you super easily. And most importantly, if you want to play the map, then the Gargantuan is oftentimes a really nice static defense tool that can intercept skill shots from Li Ming and that will zone out enemies in most cases. Oh, that Lornado, speaking of zoning out people.
That will guarantee the healing pulse by that biotic emitter, picked up by Loktar here. The 2-level lead still in play for BTG as they move on to the point. 55% already available, but currently talent even. 5 seconds until Thrall's Earthquake. 8 seconds until X-Strike. This is where SPT can try and make a play, and it's probably going to be not their last opportunity, but if they fail this, they're going to fall so far behind that they might not be able to try anything. Also, it's Dragon Blade, my mistake, not X-Strike.
Look at the items here, by the way, guys. We see healing pulse, healing, additional healing available for Loktar. Here we see a turret still in their possession, and nothing, zero, nada, available for SPT in terms of items.
Yep, and look at this, BTG, they know what this is about. They know that this is the last chance for SPT to fight for a while, so what do? They don't. They move away and they soak 16.
Yeah, very smart call. You know, they have a little bit of time until that protector counter goes all the way up to 99, and they're not wasting anything, you know, by unnecessarily poking against SPT and risking a death here before they turn 16. And now they have it. Now they can secure it. And with that third protector, I believe, in favor of BTG. No, second one, sorry. That might be a lethal one already.
Lethal Protector, it's possible, but it's going to have to be a hell of an engage. There's an Entomb. Misaka tanking through it, using the wall as the charge. Diablo hits Soap, but Soap is living thanks to his Earthquake here. Misaka is living thanks to the Locust Swarm. Both of them tank for at least a little bit, but the damage output with that 2 and a bit level lead is just too high, and BTG pick up another kill.
And Tetra, we totally forgot to mention the value of the objective, of course, with that Entomb as well, right? Try to dodge those lasers and those rocket fists when you're trapped in an Entomb, suckers. You can't do that.
Charging in and see a Thrall. This is just domination by BTG in game number 1. They burn through the keep, and your call of lethal might be more accurate than we suspected as they move on for the core.
Yep, the keep is destroyed. That means that the core is wide open right now. It's got more than 50%, only brought down to 45 right now. They're hammering on it. Leoric comes in there. Raynor, their main core damage, unfortunately, inside that protector, but that also means that they're going to have a little bit of protection there. They bring it down to 92, and they evacuate. They realize, you know what? Lockdoor is so close to dying, we don't want to risk anything. Just play it smart, play it safe, and come back later.
With Thrall so close to being back alive, it would have been a 5 versus 5 without the Protector as it was about to expire. Would have been a risky play, possible, but risky. I actually think they still would have won the game if they had hyper committed, but I don't threat them for moving out and playing safe.
Especially not against SPT when there is so much on the line, right? SPT is one of the best teams in China. Maybe with their mechanical forte, they could have done it with their finesse. But maybe against a team like Team Nut, they would have gone for it. But not against SPT.
It's like a casual harass there with a little impale. We'll spot Loktar as well, hovering around this area. And SPT still not with 16. They back up. They want to soak level 16 so they can fight again, but that means that this biotic emitter is almost certainly going over to BTG. Entomb, tackle, almost certainly dead. He is surviving thanks to the Earthquake. Ravenous Spirit picks up the Raider, and they're finally turning this round. They focus onto Diablo. Melly C causing huge chaos into the backline. He is going to die. No deflect available with 619, dropping low as well. Misaka tunneling out. Subterranean Shield. Loktar eating huge damage. Toads connect fully here, but Loktar tanks through this. Good route onto 619 who dives forward. He's got anti-heal applied, but it's a blow up onto Soap.
That it is, and LLK is relentless trying to find that Anubrek, but the Beetle still does have that magic armor when he has his W active, and he cannot burn through the continuous hides. Loktar, though.
Nice block.
Yeah.
Spooners! Spooners and Toads! Spooners and Toads! Oh, resets, and that's a dominance on Li Ming too, and that's probably the end of the story. Good teleport dodge for good measure. Misaka's pretty healthy right now, thanks to his sustain, but it's not enough. He's
619 overdid it.
Die here.
619 overdid it.
Entomb. He has. He's actually going to die here.
No way, Decker Kane, he can't do it. The cooldown was too large, and here comes Genji. Full health, full mana with the Dragon Blade. He's going to try and slice and dice his way to victory.
They're looking for it. Loktar is the target as everyone else is too healthy. There's the deflect route landing on 2 members. They need to at least get Loktar. They get Loktar. Melisi on the run. Druid and LLK giving chase. LLK picks off the Beetle.
Diablo's back. They're not done just yet. The fight continues with 619 trying to seek revenge, but he can't find the kill right now. The enemy's SPT, they need to go back because already, look at the catapults. Look at the minions just pouring in through that top lane. What a fight. That was actually okay for SPT. You know, they got a little more experience out of it. If only they hadn't lost so many members in the progress.
Comeback XP is a pretty wonderful thing, actually. So they will be, like you said, they come out of this pretty reasonably. They're going to grab a fortification camp, so they will be ready for the next objective. And they really need to try and find a fight pre-20. But the problem is, 1 catapult, soon to be 2, accumulating in the top lane. Looks like they're going to use this opportunity to try and de-push that first. If this protector does come in, it actually does have a fort to go through, so they could, in theory, take a massive risk and try and skip it, and then harass it all the way over if it tried to run through top lane, or at least use the buildings as a good defense.
You know, another big important victory for SPT during all of that. True, they did lose their own members in the process. True, they still don't have the same level of experience. But, and here comes the big but, I think all those items are now gone for BTG. The healing pulse, the turrets, all were used in the previous fight.
Lornado, not the best angle, but it's good enough to zone 619, but he's stuck on the conveyor belt. Malfurion Root secures the kill. Nicely done. And now someone they've already cleared out the catapults. They've got a mercenary camp protecting top lane. SPT, a talent down, have control of the point.
That is true. They're going to get this objective. Guess what? Diablo doesn't have full stacks anymore. He came back as a mediocre-sized Diablo. Not mini mode anymore, but also not full tank mode yet. And Leoric also arrived too late to the party. They basically started the show without Leoric. And the Entomb, we mentioned this already before, is pivotal. It's so important to locking people down and allowing Diablo to actually slam people against those walls. And the more time passes, ladies and gentlemen, the more power Nazeebo is going to accumulate. He's got the Soul Harvest as well, which means more health, more ability power. The Entomb, the silence is golden. Can't use Ice Block when you're entombed.
quick blow up, but without Genji as well. This is a numbers advantage for BTG. They saw Genji move top to try and save it. Misaka doesn't even get in the protector. ZZH pulling back. This protector will die, and, well, it's going to die, but then what? You just run top and try and end the game here? Mercy says hello to Druid to try and harass them, try and drop them low enough so they can't end the game. That's the plan here. He gets a deflect, stays alive through the Arcane Orb. That forward hitting Leoric. The protector is taken. Malfurions bring it to the base. They're going to use it to defend.
Bring it home, buddy. We need all those defensive tools that we can measure. It's only Genji available who can hop inside, though. This is going to be a close core call. It's already down to 92% Tetra, but BTG, they're going for it.
Turret's down, but Protector arrives. LDC gets in the base. Here comes Malfurion for the last-ditch effort, but it's not even close to enough. That is BTG with game number 1.